doctors told you it was early menopause, but it
Yeah.
turned out to be the cervical cancer.
Yeah. It
What
was crazy.
exactly were the symptoms everyone ignored, and what exactly was noticed later?
I think that in general, there is seems to be a systemic tendency just to downplay women's pain.
Mhm.
We're told we're sensitive or overreacting, but really your intuition is your best data.
How you came back, or how you became such a great survivor? Cervical cancer is often spoken about in hushed tones and sometimes not spoken about at all. But awareness saves lives. Today on MomZone, I'm honored to have a cervical cancer survivor with us who has bravely agreed to share her journey so that other women may recognize her symptoms early and seek help and feel less alone. Welcome on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I appreciate you inviting me.
So please share something about yourself.
So, my name is Sabrina. I live in the United States. I own two companies. One is called the Soul Sync Collective Community, and another is Next Win LLC. So, a lot of it has to do with mindset mentorship. I'm a hypnotherapist, Reiki practitioner, and there's a few other things, but we don't need to go too far down that road.
So you have a very vast profile. So I mean, you are into hypnotherapy, you are into spiritual journey, but before everything else, this cervical cancer that has happened, uh, I was going through your story, and I understood that doctors told you it was early menopause, but it
Yeah.
turned out to be the cervical cancer.
Yeah. It
What
was crazy.
exactly were the symptoms everyone ignored, and what exactly was noticed later?
So to start with, I was just consistently tired. My cycles were very irregular, and when they did come, they were very painful, they were heavy. I had persistent lower back pain, um, pelvic discomfort, but every time I brought it up, I was told that it was just more than likely early menopause. So no one had really connected the dots.
Oh. So if there is a woman who is watching right now and thinks she just entered menopause, what is the one symptom she must not ignore?
I think something that is really kind of easy to brush off is bleeding in between your cycles, or if you're intimate with somebody after you're intimate with them. Um, that was really what my first cry for help was.
Mhm. Okay. So how many months were you treated for menopause before cancer was finally detected?
It was close to a full year.
Oh, that was a long time.
Yeah. There wasn't as many checkups. I just don't believe that there was as many checkups as what they should have done.
Mhm.
And the testing that they did was very minimal.
Mhm.
It was more like just a regular pelvic exam. They would check and everything looks healthy.
Mhm.
But until you're doing the swab test or the scraping, they're not testing anything, so they don't really know.
Mhm.
And that's where I think the medical community kind of failed me.
Mhm. Mhm. So, do you really feel that the women's pain and symptoms are often dismissed as hormonal or normal aging?
I do. I think that in general, there is seems to be a systemic tendency just to downplay women's pain.
Mhm.
We're told we're sensitive or overreacting, but really your intuition is your best data. And we really have that feeling in our gut when there's something that isn't right.
Mhm. So, you do you really feel that intuition tells you, gives you some kind of signals?
Oh, absolutely. And your body does tell you. You just have to be willing to listen to those body signals first. And then when you have a pain and your intuition is telling you, this is far from normal, you should definitely listen and advocate for yourself.
Mhm. So, when they finally tested your cells and said the cancer had spread, what
Mhm.
was the first thought that crossed your mind?
Well, I think again, it kind of goes back to the intuition. Like I knew deep down that something wasn't right. I didn't know exactly what it was. But then when they actually talk to you, it's just like this wave of fear. And again, doubt crosses your mind because you didn't get it right the first time.
Yes.
So how am I supposed to be confident that you're getting it right this time?
Mhm.
But after I kind of talked to myself and reasoned with things, then I was able to just kind of calmly figure out, okay, well, what do you recommend for next steps? And maybe I should get a second opinion.
Mhm. Do you ever question your own body because doctors kept saying nothing is wrong and uh,
Absolutely. I feel like so for people like me who are a bit more sensitive or intuitive, we have those strong gut reactions and we just pick up on things easily. It's absolutely essential to listen to what your intuition and your gut says and to pay attention to any changes that are happening within your body.
Mhm,
And your partner can also help you with some of those things,
mhm.
like just confirming for you, are my reactions a little bit differently, or do you feel anything differently when you're with me, or anything?
So when they diagnosed about the menopause, all that was shared with you, all that was given you as maybe the medical treatment was not helping you.
No, it definitely was not helping me.
Mhm. Hmm. So how did you emotionally process the decision of having uh, I mean, going through this, or how did you really process the decision of having hysterectomy, especially when it wasn't planned?
That was a tough one because that was also during a time where I was actually going back and forth and thinking about having a third child.
Oh.
And so it was something that I really truly grieved deeply because
Mhm,
it wasn't just the loss of an organ. It then became like this is a the loss of the life that I wanted to create. And at the same time, it also symbolized um, just what I had to honor for my body and everything that it's carried me through.
mhm. No one talks about this, but did losing your uterus affect how you felt as a woman?
I would have to say, honestly, yes, at first it did. It's it's almost like a silent mourning or a feeling of emptiness. But then I realized that, femininity isn't exactly tied to this organ. It's tied to my power. It's tied to my intuition. It's tied to my voice. So at first, yeah, after a
Mhm,
while, after I really settled with it and thought about it, it's like this doesn't take anything away.
mhm. So when you were shared this that uh, you were told diagnosed that there is a cervical cancer,
Mm.
so you were not having second thoughts about it that let me go for another checkup because you never know whatever happened in the previous times can happen again. They might be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I always second guess that after that first occurrence. And I think that was something that for my own sanity, I had to reason with. Like, there's a good chance that they've got it right this time. They wouldn't want to let me down again because of how much they put me through the first time.
Yes.
So while it was really hard on me, I just had to come to terms with it emotionally that if it feels right, it's right. Just go with it.
Hmm. So what physical and emotional changes hit you after this hysterectomy that no doctor prepared you for?
I think it was more the emotion of everything. It was that quiet identity shift that you feel because for me, I started feeling invisible for a time. Like I didn't recognize myself for a short period of time just because of the hormonal crash that came with it. And I didn't expect it to be that bad. I really, truly didn't. The doctors treated it like, oh, it's a piece of cake. You'll get through this. No problem. But the fatigue starts to wear on you. So you're really tired all the time. Your hormones crash. So mixed with those things mixed with your emotion, it started to become pretty overwhelming at first.
You have had three types of cancer. Please
Yeah.
share something about this.
So I always kind of thought that it was tied to my immune system, but I didn't have any kind of proof that there was any kind of immune disorder. But it seemed like any time that I would have any kind of injury, it would then kind of snowball into something much bigger. And so I'm trying to think of the year. It's probably been about 6 years now. I fell from a ladder up at 16 feet. I was painting and I had severely injured my neck, my back, my shoulder, my left knee. And there was so much going on at once that it almost felt like my body was trying to defend me from all of this swelling and inflammation that maybe it just kind of crashed a little bit because I also ended up with a skin cancer. There's two different forms of skin cancer that I've had. And then of course the uterine cancer. So yeah, I just felt like there was always something underlying with my immune system and its ability to recover from the different injuries that I sustained because
Mhm.
it seemed coincidental that it popped up around the same time.
So when did you stop asking why me?
There comes a point in time where you really truly start to wonder like what more can I do for myself in my mind during this time because you get so tired of being a victim. You can't lift hardly anything, you can't barely do any exercise because of all the injuries and illness that you've sustained. And so there's got to be a way out of it. And that's what you start to think because you get so tired of being so sick and tired all the time. And that was my shift. That's actually when I got into hypnotherapy and the mindset. It's like there's got to be something in my mind that I can change to shift this. And it really did. It changed everything.
So when the cancer reached your bone and doctors mentioned stem cell treatment, were you scared you might lose your arm or there can be some loss associated with this?
With that one, I wasn't I was oddly calm with that one. I just felt this inner peace, like I knew that it wasn't going to be that drastic. Like I knew I was going to get through this. And that was just me and my intuition again speaking to me. It's like, you've got this. You're not going to let anything further happen.
Mhm.
So I think that mentality helped me to kind of shift through that change as well.
The incision was 6 inches long and 3 inches deep.
Yeah.
How did you mentally survive this phase?
Again, I hate to take it back there, but it's all about that mindset. I just had this calm and this kind of fighter mentality. Like, I'm not going to let anything else defeat me. I'm going to get through this. And I really just truly felt that I wasn't meant to lose anything more than I had already lost through the experiences that I had had. So instead of treating every scar like a wound, I treated it like this is a portal. This is a portal to get things out. I'm going to do some breath work and make sure that my body is releasing any of the stress and anxiety. And um, that's when I got more into meditation as well, which really helped to balance me through that time.
Mhm. So you're saying meditation, breathing exercises, reminding yourself, giving affirmations, and making sure that you remember your strength can really help you a long way.
Absolutely. 100%.
And often we women forget, we tend to forget our inner strength and, start believing in whatever is coming from outside. So, yes,
Yeah.
that is a very good reminder.
Thank you.
So, what are the biggest myths people believe about skin cancer that actually delays the diagnosis?
You know, Interestingly, what about that part, I think that a lot of people think that you have to be like sun worshipers out in the sun all the time and for the sun to really be beaming on your skin and burning you constantly for you to get a type of skin cancer, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Another one would be that only light-skinned people with red hair and freckles get it. Not everybody is light skinned when they come up with these cancer spots. And I actually found that um, people in different regions who have a darker skin tone are actually just as susceptible.
Right. Now, if I connect the dots and I understand some of the symptoms that are shared with you or with anyone regarding skin cancer, these symptoms can be common and it may be wrong in many cases, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So
definitely.
if a mole changes the color even once, what should people do immediately?
They should get it checked out because the way that mine had changed, it was something that had happened over years. And so it's a very subtle change at first. And it gradually begins to get a little bit darker and darker. And then for me, mine wasn't black, but mine ended up turning purple. And then the skin had raised and then it cracked and started bleeding. So those are the signs that you need to really watch out for is that change in color, texture, and the shape.
How often do you suggest women should be checking their body, skin, cervix, hormones, especially after 35?
Regularly. Regularly. I say anytime that you're getting ready to take a shower, maybe not every single day, but when you're getting ready to take a shower, I would at least check once a month, every month, because you can never be too careful.
Yes, absolutely. So, along with cancer, you lived with nerve pain, spinal issues, thyroid problems. What was the darkest moment mentally?
There were mornings where I just didn't even want to wake up and get out of bed. I would go to bed at night and just wish that everything would stop so I didn't have to feel any more pain. It was constant for so long that the longer you suffer with that kind of pain, the louder it gets. And it really starts to take over your thoughts. It starts to take over your energy. It starts to take over everything. because you can't seem to focus on anything else but the pain.
So there must be some times surely that when all of that you were doing, everything together was not helping, or maybe you were feeling so low that you were not able to overcome these thoughts, these concerns, these kind of pains that you were going through. How you came back, or how you became such a great survivor?
I really I like to take the experiences that I'd already been through up to that point and weigh it against the experiences that I have moving forward. So, because of all of my past experiences, which have not been great, it's helped me to build resiliency and acceptance around there is a reason for everything happening. And you just kind of have to dig deeper to find that reason. Because whether we want to believe it or not, what I believe is that we have full control to choose how we feel in every given moment. And if you're choosing to give up, your body's going to feel worse. If you're choosing to feel better, you can truly start to feel better through that. So, um, I, it all boils down to choice.
It is a great reminder for all the women, especially. We throw tantrums at times, or there are times when the issues are so minor, still it gets on our head, or we start panicking about the things, or we overthink and we
Yeah.
overstress. And in spite of going through three cancers, you survived, you managed, and you are talking about being consistently on the right side, thinking consistently what is right for you. It's commendable.
Yes. Thank you. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were my moments where I questioned everything that I was doing and I questioned my value. I questioned my worth. And I think through that, you also begin to realize that your worth and your value is not tied to your productivity or your energy.
Mhm.
And so if you just choose to accept that, then you can begin to start to heal through that journey and really appreciate the experience and what you're learning from it to apply as you're recovering.
Beautiful. This is the difference between the survivors and non survivors, maybe, or this is the difference between the winners and the losers. If
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
surrender, we are never going to win.
Right.
So, beautifully put.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving your time and coming on our show. It is actually a great pleasure, and I'm really feeling honored that you gave us so much of time and you discussed about your personal details, so that all the women who is watching can really get benefited by your experiences. I'm really thankful to you. Thanks for coming, and thanks everyone for
Thank
watching
you.
the show.
Thank you for having me.